Hey, what is up? It's Jim. I'm back with another Tiller tip. And this week we're talking about talents. Yes, we are continuing on with this little series that I'm doing here on Tiller Tips about the parable of the talents. And it's such a powerful and layered parable. It is so dynamic. I really am excited to share all four different applications that I see out of this parable. And so this is the second one. If you didn't see last week's, where we talked about our role, typically these parables that Jesus is sharing in the Gospels, they are stories that are meant to give us deep application. And typically, we would play some kind of role within one of the characters of the parables. And so in this parable, we are the servant. And so if you don't know what the job description of a servant is, check that out from last week. Also, you'll get the full reading of that parable. This week, I'm just going to synopsisize it. I know that's a made up word, but that's what I'm going to do. So let me share with you a little bit about this parable, and let's dig into this week's points. So there was a master who gathered his servants together. The master was about to go on a trip, but before he did, he entrusted to them his property. To the first servant, he gave 5 talents, to the second, 2, and to the third, 1. And then he went on. Then he went away. And the first servant doubled and went from 5 to 10 talents. The second servant also doubled and went from 2 to 4 talents. And then that third servant, he didn't know what to do, so he was scared. He was a fearful servant, so he dug a hole and buried that talent in the ground, which is just asinine. But when the master came back, the first 2 servants got this narrative of, well done, good and faithful servant. You've done well with a little. See that I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. For that third servant, he got a very different narrative. He was called a wicked and slothful servant, and he was banished. He was sent away to a place of weeping and gnashing of teeth. So that's the synopsisization of of that parable. Okay, and this week, what I really want to focus on is, obviously, we talked last week about our role as the servant. God is our master. Like that's very obvious here. Capital M, master. He's kind, he's good, he's loving, he's benevolent. And what he does is he entrusts his servants with his property. Like it says it very explicitly in the text, but I really cannot overshadow that. What we have been entrusted with in this life as servants of our master, it is actually his property. I think that we have to own. When I give couples like a money talk, I really focus on this exact principle that, you can be stressed about money, and that's understandable. It's going to be a hot topic probably, but please keep in mind, at no point is it your money, is it your property. It is fully the master's. It is his property. Just because the master handed it over to the servants doesn't mean that it became the servants. It was still the master's. And I think that is a vital thing to remember, because we have a tendency of grabbing hold of things and, being like mine, just, taking it all in and, hoarding what we feel like to be ours. But if it's never ours, why would we ever hoard it? We are so much more free to be generous. I just think that is an important thing. Like if we're going to go back to last week's, job description of being a servant, what is your master asking you to do? What should you say yes to? Well, maybe tithing is the thing your master is asking you to do. And I'll remove the maybe. That is what our master asks us to do, to be generous, at least 10%. And I know that that's scary for a lot of people, but, even just working towards the 10%, that would be what you would do. It is the first action. It is not the last action. I'll give what is left over. No, give first. When you receive his property, okay, well then I'll turn around and give some of his property He's asking me to say yes to 10%. Okay, I can do that, right? Like that really is important, okay? Now I know a lot of people struggle with that, and I'm not here to give like a value proposition on that, but it is his property. And the faster you can know that, the faster I think you're going to get comfortable with, a tithe or even more. It's his property. Like it doesn't really matter. He's got more to give me. Maybe he will set me over much. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to say in this, if you look in the footnotes of this parable, you'll see something that says that, a talent was a monetary unit that was worth about 20 years' wages for a standard laborer. And so that really is, a big context clue of what our master entrusts to us, because even that fearful servant that just got one measly talent, that was worth a lot. Now I'm going to do some math here, and this is going to be incredibly conservative, but I don't know what a standard laborer means and how much that person makes in today's economy. I'm going to be incredibly conservative on the numbers. I'm thinking about, a man that might go to the local mercado and try to do day labor. How much would he make on average per year? I don't know, maybe 25,000. That seems really low in today's economy. There's been a ton of inflation. So maybe it's more, but let's go with that number, $25,000 a year. 20 years of that wage, of that salary, is going to be $500,000. I mean, probably it's closer to $50,000 for a standard laborer, and that means that's $1 million. That talent might be worth up to $1 million in today's economy. I mean, our master is generous with his property. I just believe that to be true, and it is worth doing well with a little so that he can set us over much. Think about the man that started with 5 talents. If it was $500,000, oh my gosh, that's $2.5 million in today's economy, all the way up to maybe $5 million. And it just grows quickly from there. I just really have experienced it in my own life that my master has been generous with his property to me, and it hasn't always been easy. And sometimes I've been a fearful servant, but the deeper that I believe that it's his property, the better I have naturally done with doing the things he's asking me to do as a servant. So that is this week's tiller tip. Know that it is his property. That could change everything. That could be the paradigm shift that makes a difference for you in your life, with your finances, with your generosity. And I love that. I want that for you. So I appreciate you checking these out. We've got 2 more tiller tips about this parable of the talents. So please be sure to like and subscribe. Please share it, because it's only going to get better from here. I promise. All right. Hey, thanks so much, and I will see you next time. All right. See ya.